Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is episode 8 of the Underground Mobcast. I'm here with my co-host, Lando Very, aka Lando Capo. Lando, say hello to the folks.
Come va? How you doing?
Alright, so this week we don't really have that much to cover because if you watched last week, you know that we recorded Monday, so we kind of got to see Raw. So there's not really as much to talk about this week, so we apologize for that. But
Yeah,
let's
but the thing is that our list of things that we want to talk about are a bit short, so we decided just to try. Who knows if we might this episode might be under 1 hour, but who knows? But we're just just try to do our best.
Yeah,
You know.
honestly, I mean, we're out here having a good time. That's what matters. So, I mean,
Yeah,
let's
it's just been a busy week. Okay, it's just been a busy week.
absolutely let's jump right into it, Lando. Let's talk about Dynamite this week.
Yes,
Did you have any
as
thoughts on anything specific?
well, especially Orange Cassidy winning the AEW All Atlantic Championship.
Yes, sir, dude. I'm so glad that you have that down. So how do you feel about that as a whole?
For the past ever since AEW came out in 2019, when I first saw Orange Cassidy, I'm like, yeah, I could see this guy being a champion one day. Well, I mean, do you picture him as like a world champion or no, just a mid Carter?
Um, for me, that's kind of like a difficult question. So
I mean, yeah,
he could be a legitimate title
like
contender if you book him the right way. But like at the same time, his gimmick is kind of like funny. And when have you really seen a successful funny gimmick that was a world championship tier? I don't think it's a bad idea per se. I mean, like when he was in the triple threat, right, with Kenny and Pac. That match was a banger. I mean, he puts on stellar matches. Don't get it twisted. But his gimmick, I mean, it really depends on like if the fans can get behind it or not. So
yeah, I've been watching him for just for a few years, and I'm like, okay, when are they gonna let this guy be champion? That's what I was thinking, because every championship match that I've been seeing, he loses for the past 3 years. Like every championship match that he's been in, he loses.
absolutely.
Like
I mean, it's hard to watch, especially like when you get over with somebody like that. I love Orange Cassidy. I love his gimmick. I think the whole like where he kicks your shins thing is hilarious. I'm super happy to see that he won a championship because he's been in that title contention spot several times, right? Like you said.
yep.
It's difficult though because he's gonna have to lose it. I hope that he has a decent reign before he loses it, but I mean, like Pac's reign, a lot of Pac's matches, or well, I mean, how many defenses did he have? Do you have a stat on that?
Hold on, let me I'll look it up.
This is what the
Hold on,
internet
give me.
is for, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
What a beautiful thing it
Okay.
is.
And also this even though this Tuesday they're gonna be having Dynamite. Like not on Wednesday. Like the same time as NXT.
Yeah, that's
Like this
pretty. You think they're trying to take away from the views?
I don't know, but I mean, they didn't say anything that they're gonna do it on Tuesdays for now on.
Right.
They just said oh oh like Dynamite is gonna be on Tuesday next week. Like they didn't say, oh, we're gonna be on Tuesday nights for now on instead of Wednesday nights.
Yeah. I hope that they stick with Wednesdays. Wednesday nights are a pretty good time for me to watch because I've got school Monday, Wednesday, and then Tuesday, Thursday I'm usually working. So that's kind of like the prime time for me to watch anyway. So I'd prefer that they keep it there. Um, I don't think they're going to be able to compete with NXT either, though. Like, I don't think there's much competition to be had with NXT because it's such a select group of people that watch it in the first place. Like when you think about NXT, really, who watches NXT? At least not 2.0. We'll talk about Black and Gold. Who was watching the Black and Gold brand? Diehard wrestling fans, right? So if you're
Yes.
pitching to them, they're gonna watch one way or another, and they have to have Peacock to watch it anyways. So you're not gonna be taking any TV ratings away from WWE. I don't feel like. Um, but I know what I'm gonna be doing. I don't know about you, but I'll be having Dynamite up on the TV, and I'll be having NXT on my laptop.
Funny as you mentioned that, I actually did that once. I had watched NXT and Dynamite at the same time. One like Dynamite was on my TV and NXT was on my laptop.
That's the way to do it. I mean, real diehard wrestling fans completely understand where we're coming from. So
But anyways, let's see, one, two, three, six. He had pack. He had six successful defenses.
how many were in AEW or like on AEW television?
Three.
Okay, so half
Two
of
of
his
them.
reign wasn't even televised for AEW.
Well, yeah, like two of them were in RPW, which is Revolution Pro Wrestling, and one was in over the top rope wrestling or over the top. Is it over the top? Hold on, give me a second. Uh, s- over the top. Okay, not yeah, over the top wrestling. So yeah, three of them were in on AEW television. Two of them were in RPW, and one was in OTT.
OTT, over the top wrestling.
Yeah, over the top wrestling,
Huh. Yeah, so
which
I'm
is
hoping Orange
which is
Cassidy, at least because he won't be like a trios champion or anything else, they'll be able to focus on him a little bit more and maybe shed some more spotlight onto that championship. Because yeah, like Pac was a good champion, I guess. I mean, there wasn't anything really to write home about in his reign. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't anything that really stuck out besides like when he won
yeah.
it. I feel like Miro should have won it in the first place, but that's just me.
Okay. Also, like even on Tuesday, they're gonna be like Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends will be facing Death Triangle for the World Trios Championships.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they keep it on the Death Triangle. I don't think you can have two championships in AEW and be kind of successful with it. You know what I mean? Especially like not like a singles and a tag championship because there's such a limited amount of like TV time that goes on. I mean, we've been talking about this one for weeks. Like they need to be doing ROH stuff with a Ring of Honor weekly show.
Oh, since you bring up Ring of Honor though,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Perfect time
like
to.
yeah, yeah, that Tuesday, that Chris Jericho will be defending Ring of Honor World Championship against one third of the Ring of Honor World Six Man Tag Team Champions, Dalton Castle, Peacock.
Yes, dude. I'm so glad that he's on television.
I was like, when are they gonna show? Like I said this before, when are they gonna show like the Ring of Honor World Six Man Tag Team Champions on AEW television? Because I saw like they appeared on AEW Dark, like I think like 2 times or more. I don't know, but like yeah, like they won they won the 6-man tag team championships back in July at Death Before Dishonor pay per view.
That was a banger of a pay-per-view too, might I add. Yeah, dude, they really haven't been shown, especially, since like we just stated, there's not a weekly show. So like what are you doing with a lot of these guys?
Like most of them will be appearing. Actually, no, like half of them will be on like AEW Dark if they're like from like Ring of Honor.
Colt Cabana, that
So like,
means you.
yeah,
Cuz
like
CM Punk did it, right?
yeah, yeah, like yeah, like most Ring of Honor guys are like shown on like AEW Dark. Like like for ex- like for example, like Mercedes Martinez, she's the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. When was the last time we seen her on AEW live television?
Oh, it's been so long.
That that because she's spending most of her time in AEW Dark defending her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship.
Dude, I just don't understand, right? So if you're Tony Khan, let's just go through the events here. You're Tony Khan, right? You
Yeah.
buy Ring of Honor, then you decide you're not going to continue Ring of Honor in terms of like weekly. So when you do that, aren't you kind of harming the product as a whole? Because what's the point? Like, it's not even around at that point. It's just a pay per view.
Mm.
Is there really a point of keeping it around, like keeping the championships or anything like that? No. I mean, you're not doing weekly television, so people aren't really getting into the rivalries because you can't have rivalries between Ring of Honor guys and Ring of Honor guys because they're not on television. I don't see the logic there. I don't know, maybe you can spell it out for me, but
You see, you see, I said this before. Like, I'll say it again. I don't really care. I'll say it again. That he should have should have an a Ring of Honor event, but don't like put it on live television. Like put it like tape record it like and then wait for another month and do like a Ring of Honor event again and do like recording tapes. Kind of like NXT did back in the day, you know?
yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. Tony Khan, if you're listening out there, which I highly doubt it, but this is a call out. Listen to Lando. He's got a good idea for you. It's like NXT UK did, right? You pre-record it, you start releasing it, week after week after week, and then boom, you're done. It's already been done. You don't have to worry about it.
It's just like man, I'm like stressed for like Tony Khan, really. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of what happens when you're a cokehead, though. You start to lose your shit eventually.
Yeah, it's just I'm a I have a my brain is too fucking big. Okay, it's too fucking big.
He said my brain is too big. Okay, but he's going ham right now. Yeah. So I mean, like when you think about it, right?
Mm.
Tony Khan, he's struggling to control the AEW roster, and he sure as hell is struggling to keep the Ring of Honor going because, well, he hasn't. How long has it been since the
Yeah,
last pay per view?
since last July.
Wow. We're in October, ladies and gentlemen. We're in October. So he's had Ring of Honor in his possession, and he's had one pay-per-view,
But no, actually, he had two pay-per-views.
two
Like,
pay-per-views.
first the G1 Supercard of Honor. Or wait, no.
Oh yeah, yep.
Sorry, the Supercard. Why I say G1? I'm thinking of like
G1
when.
Climax.
Well, yeah, but like I was thinking of like that one event that one event in Madison Square Garden where it was Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was like back in like 2019. Yeah, it was 2019.
Yeah, that was a way
Where it was in,
that's a ways back, man.
yeah, that's what I was thinking of because it was known as like the G1 Supercard. But like it, yeah, but like last it was actually um last April in Dallas, the Supercard of Honor,
Huh.
and then in July, obviously, Death Before Dishonor.
Wait, had he owned it since April? When did he buy it?
Uh, in It was either in March or February.
Okay. I remember like all the news on my PJ's Underground figure account. That's all I was seeing. Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. What a time it is to be alive. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then look at where we're at now.
Let me see. Let me see when he bought Honor.
Here and that's a beautiful place, I must admit.
Uh, March 2nd, 2022. He It was the day of when he made that huge announcement that he bought Ring of Honor.
Tony Khan's been a crazy big influencer in wrestling. You gotta admit though, like this man, although he might be a little freaking coke fiend or whatever, he's done a pretty good job up until now in terms of like making AEW what it is. Ring of Honor, I feel like he kind of dropped the ball, but wouldn't you? Think about all the shit he's got on his plate.
And just, I mean, I would, I mean, just that I would, like, if I was Tony Khan, I would do these things that, well, I said earlier that I would pre-record the tapes, and I would air them weekly for a whole month, kind of like what NXT and NXT UK did.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. They need to have you booking or like somewhere backstage working.
Oh man, it's man. I have no words. I have no words.
Well, since we're on the topic of Ring of Honor, why don't we talk about the Ring of Honor match that happened on AEW? Well, while we're at it,
Uh, uh,
Jericho
and
and Bryan Danielson for the Ring of Honor
oh
Championship.
that, oh that. What did you think about that ending?
Okay, I'm so confused, dude. This is like the booking that I've been talking about since like episode 1, where you like go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Why
Yes,
would Garcia, who clearly was going to be on Danielson's side or whatever, right? He was going to be like BCC, it seemed like. Why would he now double back?
it's so stupid. Like literally, I saw from like the first time that I saw Daniel Garcia like coming out into the ring, I had a feeling that he's gonna like turn on Brian Danielson, and I predicted it. And I'm like, for fuck's sake,
Dude, I
they're
really
doing
just
it
don't
again.
understand the booking as a whole, you know?
I'm like, they're doing it again.
Did I kind
Like,
of open your eyes to that, or was that something that you were seeing like before I said anything about it?
No, like I mean, like when I'm saying as I'm watching it, you know,
Yeah, no, I'm not talking
like
about like the Garcia thing in specific,
oh
but like the double back booking that they've been doing, like Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, which was also on Dynamite.
yes,
You go one way, then you turn the other way, and then you're like, never mind, I gotcha.
yeah, it's just like if you turn on somebody, like you keep that, you keep it like don't just like be with the bad guy, then turn against the bad guy to become good, and don't turn your and then turn against the good guy and start being bad again.
Dude, it's like Big Show in 2015 all over again, 2016.
Uh, it's
I think it was
2016.
2015, right? Because it was like he helped out the brothers, Cody and Goldust, and then he turned his back on them, and then he turned his back on the Shield, and then flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. And it just gets so confusing, like as a fan, especially. You want to be able to tune in and know what's going on, but like at the same time, like the surprises are good, don't get me wrong, but you can't have someone who turns every 5 seconds. Nobody, eventually, it just doesn't feel special anymore. You know what I mean? Like it starts to lose its meaning when you just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
This 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 is dumb booking,
Yeah, the
really.
idea of like gimmicks and things like that is that they stick with them, and some gimmicks aren't going to be hits, and sometimes you kind of have to like stick with it and see if it can pan itself out. Like Gunther, Gunther wasn't his. The name changed. A lot of people weren't hot on it, but he just had two classics with Sheamus, and is anyone upset now? No, I mean like they look past it. But when you
Yeah,
go back and forth as a heel and a face, the next time you turn, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, here we go again." It's just such sloppy booking. I hate to, be a critic and talk smack, quote unquote, on these companies or whatever, but it just doesn't make sense to me. As like a wrestling fan, I'm looking from it, I'm trying to look at it objectively. I'm not biased towards WWE or AEW, but if I'm looking at it like right now, I'm going with WWE. WWE's got my attention more so than AEW does, and mostly because AEW is so inconsistent with their booking. And even like with their television time, they're not keeping the same people on television because they have so many people on their roster.
yeah,
I mean, it's ridiculous. That's why I think your idea of like recording the Ring of Honor is so good because that's a way to let a lot of these guys who aren't getting TV time to get TV time. Sure, it might be Ring of Honor and they might not like it, but who cares? You have a contract, you're getting paid regardless. Go do your thing on Ring of Honor, whether it's on Ring of Honor, AEW, WWE, it doesn't really matter. You're getting TV time, you're getting showed off. That's what you want. You want to blow up, right? So when you record, or even if they were to do live, they do it Tuesday or something like that, one of those off days, just another form, like Rampage could be boosted to 2 hours. Would anyone really be upset? No. Instead of it being an hour special every week, that way you can have another match, maybe even two or three promos. You know what I mean? You can add stuff, but they're not really taking those steps.
yeah.
I'm gonna put that into a sound bite, and I'm gonna put that out on the account, on the Instagram account,
Okay,
because I think that's gonna be a
okay,
hot topic.
okay.
Besides that, though, the match overall, how did you feel? Did you think it was a good match, minus the ending?
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match.
Two incredibly talented men, you know. Um, Chris Jericho, obviously one of the greatest of all time. Um, he's
Brian
accomplished more than
Danielson
anybody.
and Brian Danielson, who is a former Ring of Honor World Champion. He in his first reign, he actually He actually held the title for 462 days.
Dude, that's crazy. Wasn't he the American Dragon then too?
Yeah,
That was like his
he
big
was
thing.
yeah, he was the American Dragon like in his like independent wrestling career.
Yeah. I remember they and we'll not talk about figures. I was gonna say they released a figure of it, but it's besides the point. Um yeah, I thought the match was good too. Like you said though, the ending was kind of like what? What is going on here? Um Dynamite as a whole though, just it didn't flow very well for me this week. I don't know. There was a couple things I was just like, okay. But you know what we are getting?
Hmm?
Moxley Hangman.
Yes.
I am excited for that because I really do feel like Hangman probably should have held on to the title longer. I was kind of upset that CM Punk beat him. Even though I'm a CM Punk diehard, I've been a CM Punk fan since 2009. Um, dude, I was just rooting. I was rooting for Hangman. I loved his reign. I loved the build up that they had for him to be champion. I feel like letting CM Punk beat him was kind of disrespectful to him, especially with all the hard work he put into AEW. And that's not me dissing CM Punk. I know that there's a lot of controversy around him. Um, but
Yeah.
I felt like it was kind of rushed because it's CM Punk,
Oh yeah.
right? I mean, he's a huge name, he's a huge draw. It's a smart business move, but does it make logical sense? No, not really. Hangman was on top of his game. You remember his match with Lance Archer?
Uh, yeah. It was this a Texas
Texas
like a
Deathmatch, yeah.
Texas death? Yeah, it's a Texas death match. Yeah.
And he did the lariat over the referee.
Yeah.
That was sweet. Matches like that are what I used to tune into Dynamite for. What I used to tune into AEW for as a whole. And I feel like they've kind of strayed off from what AEW kind of represented at the time. Yet again, not me hating, it's just, kind of my thoughts, feelings, emotions. I was very excited to see Johnny Elite, and he hasn't been around since.
Who? Johnny Elite?
Yeah, Johnny Elite.
Wait, was he? Wait,
Remember he was all elite
wait.
for like one match or something like that? Johnny
Well,
Mundo.
yeah, but like, what about him? Is he returning to AEW or something? What?
No, but it's just about like the inconsistent booking and the
Oh,
overstacked roster as a whole.
oh,
They brought over all
okay.
these guys, all these releases and whatnot, and you barely see any of them. I mean, you see Swerve, which he's on TV because he was tag champion. Keith Lee, same thing. He was tag team champion, so of course he's going to be on TV. Um, but a lot of the guys that they Miro, he was on TV for a good amount of time when he first came. He got injured. He was gone for a little bit. Then he came back. Have we seen him since? Here and there.
I mean, he actually he like it's I heard on Twitter that he was struggling and he was requesting a release.
No. Are we going to see the return of Rusev?
Uh, maybe. I mean,
Dude,
he but I mean, probably it's a new and an approved Rusev instead
100%.
of like saying like Rusev Day, you know? Like it's
Hey,
the
Rusev Day was awesome, man. How are you going to hit on Rusev Day?
well,
Rusev
I
Day.
mean, I mean, like Rusev is a beast, okay?
Dude, that man
Rusev
actually is
is
a literal tank.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like the whole. Redeemer thing. That is badass, really.
The Redeemer thing is badass. I do like the Miro gimmick a lot. I do wish they would have done something with him though, man. Like I feel like he should have won the All Atlantic Championship.
I mean, he was. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. But at one point, he was also the AEW TNT champion.
And I think he arguably had the best reign as AEW TNT champion.
Yeah, he held it for 140 days.
Dude, and I mean he beat Darby Allin to get it, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
beat Darby Allin and
It,
then held it for 140 days and lost it to Sammy Guevara.
boo.
Yeah, that fucking schmuck.
Dude, he's becoming such a like prick. You hear him and
Yeah,
like Andrade got into it.
yeah,
It's very interesting to see all the turmoil from such a, highly spoken of company. It's kind of sad though,
it,
man, because, when everyone's like, "Oh, it's just going to be the next WCW." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I feel like Tony Khan's really onto something." Now, I'm not really feeling it, man. I think I think they were kind of onto something by saying it's just going to be the next WCW.
yeah,
As sad as it is to hear. That's what
yeah.
happens though, dude.
Just
You have to build people up from the ground. You can't just pick them up where they got dropped off by another company and expect them to be welcomed with open arms by the guys who have been grinding their ass off for you for years.
yeah,
That's like if you were working, you're like what, an engineer, or like working in the engineering field, right? That's like them bringing in an outside hire instead of hiring from the inside because these guys who have been working forever with the company feel like, hey, that should have been me. And I mean, that goes for any work field, I guess. But it just kind of, I'm sure it feels disrespectful. I've never had that happen, but I could see where someone might be coming from on that.
yeah,
It's rough, man.
yeah.
Billy Gunn, who should be retired, is getting a lot of TV time right now. I don't
I
mind
mean,
him
he's.
being with the Acclaimed by any means. I think
I
it's
mean,
hilarious. The scissor me daddy ass. It's over. Whatever, it works. But why is he having a match with Swerve? Sure, he screwed Swerve out of the tag team championship or whatever. But what's the point? Why? Who cares? Nobody. Why don't we
yeah,
see the Acclaimed versus Swerve and Our Glory another time? And this time, let the Acclaimed win clean.
yes,
How's that sound, right? Doesn't that seem to make a
yeah,
little bit of sense?
yes,
I think that's where people are getting sick and tired of Roman Reigns too. Not to switch topics here or anything, but like when the only way people can win is cheating, the only person that's
yes.
ever really worked for was Ric Flair.
The
Correct me if I'm
dirtiest
wrong.
player, dirtiest player in the game.
And one of the greatest to ever do it, man. The only time that gimmick works is for Ric Flair. I'm sorry. Oops. And but the thing is, at the same time, heels are meant to cheat. There's a lot of people complaining, "Oh, Roman cheats every time." That's not true. A lot of his matches he actually did win clean.
Well, most of his matches, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're looking back, 95% of his matches he won clean. But like in his heel reign, yeah, I mean, of course he's gonna cheat here and there. He's a heel. Like that's what professional wrestling is. What did you expect, bozo?
Yeah, it's just the fuck.
Yeah, and I see these people complaining all the time, dude. This is what irks me so much about the wrestling fans. They're so like picky and they just want to bitch about literally everything that's going on.
They're fickle.
Fickle, yes. Fickle fans.
Yep, calling you out. I'm calling you out, fickle fans.
And that's literally like you. That's me going around the WWE arena picking out the fickle fans, by the way. You, and going around the entire section.
Affirmative.
All right.
Anyways,
Let's see. Is there anything
also,
else that's really talkable in terms of Dynamite? Is there anything that really caught your eye besides what we already talked
oh,
about?
I was about to say, you forgot to mention match of the week.
Well, we'll work our way to it. I want to
Okay.
cover Dynamite, Rampage. If there's anything that stuck out to you on Rampage, because quite honestly, for me, nothing really did.
How did you feel about Nyla Rose stealing the TBS championship from Jade Cargill?
I think it's stupid. I've got very 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 mixed emotions on Nyla Rose. I've
Like,
never there's a lot that I don't stand for that Nyla Rose represents. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on that one. Her stealing the championship though as a whole, it is what it is. If that's what they want to do, as long as Jade doesn't drop the championship to her, I really don't care.
okay, Jade Cargill. Okay, she's been champion. She's been TBS champion for 283 days now. Still, like in her first reign, and still as the inaugural TBS champion. Like, still to this day, 283 days. And here's the thing, though. Like, if I was like a booker or like the head of like the creative team, whatever, at like Triple H. Like, I mean, if I'm gonna like book somebody who is like the first ever champion, I like here's like the month range of like a champion should hold the title if they're like the first ever champion. You know what I mean?
How many months?
Like around 2 to around 2 to 8 months.
2 to 8.
Yeah, 2 to 8.
So I can understand that. I think it does. I think it varies case by case though. For like Jade Cargill, the only critique I have thus far into her title reign is why have they not tried to like make a unification type thing?
A unification, like, okay, like,
Like obviously they're not actually going to unify them, but they could
okay,
have. Jade Cargill is undefeated. She should have been in that fatal four-way for the interim championship.
yes.
Is there anyone who can disagree with that? If you're really looking at the stats here, she's been undefeated. She is an absolute powerhouse, and honestly, I do enjoy watching her in the ring. She's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
So, if we're really going to make sense of all this, wouldn't that have been the move that made sense? That's where I wanted to see like the quote unquote like battle of the belts type thing where the TBS champion decides that she wants to go for the AEW championship instead of just settle for the mid card titles. Eh.
I mean, yeah, that's not a bad idea, but like, I mean, yeah, be like a double champion, like holding the AEW Women's World Championship and the TBS Championship. Uh, like, uh, like, do you think that she can actually defend them both, or do you think that even though i- like if she ever wins the Women's World Championship, she'll just will relinquish the TBS Championship?
So if like are you asking what I would do or are you asking what I think is going to happen if this were to happen?
What do you think if that happens? it.
Okay, so if that were to happen, I feel like what they would do is I don't see her getting beat clean anytime soon. So I feel like they'd make her relinquish one of the two, whether it's the AEW championship or the TBS championship. She's gonna have to relinquish one because I think keeping her undefeated is pretty cool. It's
I
not
mean,
often that you
I,
see people go on like these streaks. The last one that was really notable was Goldberg, and Goldberg beat a bunch of bums. Jade Cargill's out here actually beating top talent. So I mean, there's levels to it, of course, but I'm over on Jade Cargill. If it was me booking, I'll answer both actually. If it was me booking, what I would do, Jade Cargill would be in like a triple threat or fatal four way. That way, she doesn't get pinned clean. It doesn't count as a loss on her record technically because
I mean,
she wasn't involved in said pinfall. Right, 1-on-1, she's still undefeated.
yes.
You can still have Tony Storm win. Just have her pin Britt or Hikaru or Jamie Hayter, whichever one got eliminated. One of them has to go.
But yeah, yeah.
But didn't Jade beat Thunder Rosa?
Yeah, in the tournament. Like for the inaugural TBS title.
Yeah. So doesn't she have a stake at the throne? If Thunder Rosa is the AEW Women's World Champion, shouldn't the person who beat her be the next one in line?
I mean, probably.
I mean, so as a fan of like MMA as well, like you have to earn your championships, whatever. You have to earn your shots. That's something I feel like wrestling. Obviously, wrestling can't always be like that. Some people just get propelled to the top immediately. But Jade Cargill, man, if anybody should be a challenger for the AW Women's World Championship, it should be her. I mean, look at the stats. I'll say it time and time and time again. Look at the stats. If anybody should be, it's Jade Cargill. She's a powerhouse, man. You can't tell me you haven't been impressed with her thus far.
Yeah. Yeah, if you disagree, then what the hell's wrong with you?
That's gonna be a soundbite too.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
But
that's our thoughts of Jake Cargill. Uh Also, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. What do you think about Bray Wyatt on SmackDown?
dude, I almost cried.
Let me tell you, that wasn't Bray Wyatt talking. That was Winham Rotunda talking.
100%, man. Like we actually got to see such a real side of him, and he always has been portraying a character, a very deep, dark character. We got to see like kind of. I don't want to say the toll that takes on a person, even though it might. I wouldn't know personally because I don't live like that. But I mean, like you saw in Heath Ledger, right? Heath Ledger died because he did
Yes.
his whole Joker thing, right? The curse of the Joker. Um, Bray Wyatt like really did open up. I felt every word that he said. I feel like every guy there's a huge stigma around mental health for men in this world. And for him to go out and be as brave as he was during that promo, hats off to him. Because it's something that doesn't get
Yeah.
talked about a lot. It's something that needs to be talked about a lot more. He lost his best friend and he requested time off and they released him. And from the business aspect, I have no comment on that because I don't know what was going on in those talks. But for him to come back and be able to be like, "Thank you guys for always supporting me no matter what," that it was beautiful.
Now, I also want to talk about this. Wyatt 6. Like, have you seen on Twitter that they're gonna be making a faction for Bray Wyatt?
Really?
Yeah, Wyatt 6.
Who's this?
Like,
Who are they like assuming that this faction is gonna have?
uh, like, many people been saying, like, like, okay, this is the internet, not me, okay?
Yeah, good clarification.
Like, they said something that about Liv Morgan,
Oh God.
uh, Bo Dallas,
Oh God. Oh God.
and you know that,
Believe.
yeah, and you know Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, they're both brothers, real life
Yep.
brothers,
Yep. IRS's
and
kids.
Liv Morgan and Bo Dallas are dating as well,
I don't know how that
and
works.
I'm just
She's
saying,
out of his league. She is out of his league. I do not care what anybody says.
what else? Dexter Loomis. I don't know, but like he's on Raw,
Right?
but like
Yeah, but I mean like there's not really a set. Obviously they're leaning more towards going back to two separate brands. You can tell. I mean, look at what they did with the Rey Mysterio. Oh, we'll just transfer you to SmackDown. Um, but I don't know if that's gonna have an effect. We'll see. Maybe he even gets drafted over to SmackDown or something like that.
yeah, yeah, he's been transferred to SmackDown, got himself in a contenders match, and
Because
then
Karrion
won.
Kross got beat the fuck up by Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had a feeling that like I was like excited for that match, but like I was like thinking maybe Drew McIntyre is gonna like cost Karrion Kross the match.
Well, you were kind of onto something. It cost him a little bit more than the match, though.
Yeah,
He cost
you
him the
ran
night.
him over. Yeah, he lost him the night. Like he just like hit him uh while he was in his car, and his arm was hurt, and he attacked him again.
Yeah, he probably caused him some brain damage too. I mean, obviously it's all scripted, but you know,
Yeah, he gave him brain damage.
poor guy's gonna be stuttering for the next 6 years.
Like yeah, the guy's gonna start to have some CTE.
Hopefully, it's not a
Anyway,
Benoit part two. Whoa, chill, chill, chill.
bruh. Okay. Anyways, okay. Okay. Anyways, yeah, like I said, they're thinking about having a faction with Bray Wyatt, a Wyatt 6.
What if they made the Judgment Day part of that?
I mean, Triple H, I mean, he's starting to make a lot of factions in WWE. Yeah, we got the Judgment Day, we got the OC, we got Damage Control and the Bloodline. And it's also rumored that they're gonna bring back the Hurt Business, but except for MVP because he's with Omos. But yeah, they're bringing back Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander.
I'm excited for that. I would like to see if they had to split up the tag team championships. If they had to. Obviously, you know how I feel. Our viewers know how I feel. I don't feel like splitting up the bloodlines a good idea. But or taking the
But
championships off them for that matter.
like splitting up the championships.
But if they were to have to do it, I'd like to see Cedric and Shelton get a run.
Yeah, yeah. Like they both won the Raw Tag Team
Yeah.
Championships.
I mean, and with solid booking too. I mean, we Triple H hasn't let me down since he's been the head of creative, so I don't see why it would be any different now. Um, I'm just hoping that the New Day isn't the one to take it off of them. I
I,
think we're
I,
building up closer to what you've been talking about with Sammy and Kevin Owens getting back together.
I mean, yeah.
Even
And,
though Jay did help him on SmackDown, he helped Sammy on SmackDown. I do feel like there's going to be a division, and what's going to happen is Kevin Owens is going to have Sammy's back.
yes.
When you told me that, it kind of became like undeniable for me. So
I mean, like, so far, the New Day are like pretty much the number one contenders right now. And like the Usos, they're close of breaking like the New Day's record.
yeah, but what about the Viking Raiders, man?
Yeah, where the fuck are they?
They beat the piss out of the New Day, didn't they?
Yeah, and then they all of a sudden they took time off. S-
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Anyways, do you want to say your match of the week?
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, my match of the week was Battleground 2016. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Um,
Yep.
why did I pick this? I was on the phone with one of my friends. He had watched the Mobcast and was talking to me about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens getting back together, possibly. Because I think it really is a good theory. So I rolled with it. When you
Okay.
look back at their history, whether they were rivals or they were friends,
Yes.
they put on bangers nonstop. So whenever they were in the ring together, it was great. So Battleground 2016, I remember 2016 was like the prime of professional wrestling in the last decade, or WWE at least.
It was uh like it was like right after like the 2016 draft.
Yep, dude, that was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is like the prime of professional wrestling. You had that pay per view as a whole was great because that was the one where Seth Rollins faced Roman Reigns faced Dean Ambrose for the WWE Championship. And I don't
Yep.
know if you remember the promo for that, but that still lives as like one of the. It lives rent free inside of my head. The promo video for that. But yeah. Anyways, back to the match of the week. So I remember being so excited coming into Battleground 2016, and I really do feel like, besides the triple threat, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens was a match of the night.
Definitely.
Um, ending it with two haluva kicks, right? Because one wasn't enough.
Yes. I remember in that match where like Sami Zayn delivered a half Nelson suplex on Kevin Owens, and all of a sudden Kevin Owens just got up and then like about to throw a punch, and which he missed, and like Sami Zayn like hit him with a half Nelson suplex again on Kevin Owens. Like Kevin Owens, he didn't sell the first one. He just got up and just tried to hit a punch but missed, and then he got hit with the suplex again.
Dude, the storytelling in that match was incredible. I mean, these guys can be real life best friends, real life enemies. It doesn't matter. When they're in there, it's special, and whatever they're trying to convey to the audience, hatred or love, it's going over. The crowd's behind it. And both of those guys, man, when they in 2016, they were both hitting their stride. I was really looking up to their careers, man. Too bad that they kind of got wasted. Yeah, I wouldn't say wasted, but because there's still time to recover. But recently they haven't really been doing much. Kevin Owens got his match against like Roman Reigns for the championship, but that was about it. And everybody knew he wasn't going to win that match. But yeah, I chose that simply for number one, like the nostalgia, and number two, to talk about that is how you storytell. That's what professional wrestling is all about. Going in there, friend or foe, and putting on a spectacle and telling a story while you're in there, and they did that. Anything you'd like to add, Lando?
Nothing that I can think of.
All right, well, with that, let's head right into the quiz. I heard you have 10 questions for me today, so
Just to make, we're like an hour in, which is good. But like, I mean, we can still do 10 questions.
absolutely.
Okay. Okay, this first question is a bit of a toughie. Okay?
Ooh.
It's a bit of a toughie.
Aren't they all, though?
So,
I mean, like, for me, at
uh
least.
I mean,
I think it's because you put me on
uh,
the spot, though, Lando. You make me nervous. You know that?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know what? How about this? How about this? How about this? Next week, how about next week? You create a 5-question trivia.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, this. I mean, you could search on the internet. Search on the internet, like uh, you could search on the internet for some trivia questions if you want, or you could just make one yourself.
Oh, I'm going to make one. So you
Okay.
can understand what
Okay.
it feels like from my side.
Okay. But I'm just saying, you're only doing it once. Okay, you're only doing it once.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with only doing it
Okay.
once because it takes a little bit off my workload.
Okay. Anyways, are you ready?
And as ready as I can be.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, and start. Who became the first ever and longest reigning MLW National Openweight Champion for 865 days in his first reign? A. Alexander Hammerstone. B. Davey Richards. C. Alex Kane. Or D. Byron Reed.
Dude, I don't think I've heard of a single one of these motherfuckers. So with that being said, I'm gonna go B.
I'm sorry, you're wrong. It's actually A. Alexander Hammerstone.
Yeah, I've never heard of that dude in my life.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't do that, but I mean, it was in my whole list. Okay.
Hey man, it is what it is. I gotta learn somehow, right?
Yeah, you gotta learn. Like, yeah, this guy, Alexander Hammerstone, yeah, he was the first ever national openweight champion, and literally he held the title 865 days.
Oh my god. When did he win
For
it?
literally, like, it was 2019, I believe. Yeah, it was like 2019. Okay, now the second question. Okay, number 2, which of the following championships is under 24/7 rules in DDT Pro Wrestling? A. DDT Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship. B. DDT 040 Championship. C. DDT Extreme Championship. Or D. KOD Openweight Championship. And I'm not talking about KOD like the Kiss of Death. No, I'm talking about KOD King of DDT.
Ooh. You kinda just sold me on D, but god dude. Let me go C.
D. DDT Extreme Championship. I am sorry, you are wrong.
Is it
It's
D?
actually, it's A.
Okay, good. As long as it's not my second option, I really don't care. If it wasn't on the play field for me at all, I really don't care. But if it's on the play field and I get it wrong, I will cry.
Okay. So yeah, it was D. or A, sorry. A, DDT Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship. Yeah, that is the belt that is under 24/7 rules in Japan's DDT Pro Wrestling promotion. Okay. Question number 3. Who won the first ever New Japan Cup tournament in 2005? Is it A, Shinsuke Nakamura, B, Yuji Nakata, C, Hiroshi Tanahashi, or D, Hiroki Goto?
Alright, one more time, read the question. I have the names.
Who won the first ever New Japan Cup tournament in 2005?
Tanahashi.
You are correct.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Okay. First question. How many participants were in the first ever Royal Rumble match in 1988? A, 10, B, 15, C, 20, or D, 30?
20.
You are correct.
Attaboy. Go me. Go me.
Yeah. Okay. Now this next question is true or false.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. True or false? Kota Ibushi unified the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships to become the first ever IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
I'm gonna say false.
You're wrong. It's true.
Damn it, dude. There's so many fucking championships in NJPW.
Yeah, they're like, well, right now there's like, 10, soon to be 12.
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck that, dude. I like WWE where they have like 2 main ones and then you got like 2 under card, aka mid card, and then you got tag team.
Yeah.
I can actually like track it too. Like NJPW, am I gonna turn on the TV and is it gonna be on? No. I try to follow it the best I can, but I'm not paying for it.
Yeah. Okay. Was it the 6th or 5th? Hold on. Give me a second. Yeah, it's the 6th question. Hold on. Okay, 6th question. Who became the first ever SWA World Champion in Japan's all-women World Wonder Ring Stardom promotion?
Alright, I know I'm getting this one wrong, but go ahead.
A, Toni Storm, B, Io Shirai, C, Jamie Hayter, or D, B, Priestley.
Yo, wait, why was Jamie Hayter in there? Hold up. B?
You are correct.
Let's go.
Io Shirai. Yeah, she was the first ever SWA World Champion in Stardom Wrestling. Okay, once again, true or false? Okay, Asuka won first ever Women's Royal Rumble match in 2018.
First ever Women's Royal Rumble match was 2019. I think that's... Let's see, hold on. Let me think real quick. WrestleMania 38 was... No, it was 2019. Wasn't it? True.
You are correct.
Yeah. I had to do the math there because we went to WrestleMania 38. WrestleMania 35 wasn't AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. So.
No, it was 30. It was 34.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Next question. Wait, I'm gonna see. Okay, we're on the 7th question now. Who holds the record for being the longest reigning ECW World Television Champion for 700 days? A, Taz, B, Rhino, C, Rob Van Dam, or D, Shane Douglas?
Shane Douglas.
I was kind of hoping that you would get right on this one, but no, you are wrong.
Is it the whole effing show? No, it's Taz and me.
It was the whole damn show.
The whole effing show, right? Is it the whole damn show or the whole effing show?
Well, in WWE, it's the whole damn show, but in TNA, it's the whole effing show.
Oh, TNA was the whole effing show?
Yeah. Wait, I think it was also ECW as well.
Okay, yeah, because I thought he had a whole effing show shirt on when I was watching ECW recently, and I could have sworn he had it on, but I wasn't 100% sure. I knew he had the whole something show.
Yeah. But anyways, okay. Ninth question. Once again, true or false? Ric Flair versus Harley Race was the main event in the first ever Stardom pay-per-view in 1983 for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship inside of a steel cage.
I'm gonna say false.
Incorrect.
Dude, are they all true, Lando? God damn it, dude, I feel like I'm taking an exam. You're twisting my brain.
Okay. I mean, I thought you would get right on this one, even though you said last week that you recently watched a Ric Flair documentary.
Yeah, well, okay, the thing is, so I was thinking true, but then I was like, no, there's no way he puts 3 trues. This is the same shit I do on my exams, too, dude, I swear to God.
I mean, yeah, you don't know that, but yeah.
Well, that was my thought process. There's no way that he would have put 3 trues.
But anyways, okay, last question. Which female WWE superstar became the first woman to hold a men's title in WWE history?
Ooh.
A. Alundra Blaze. B. Chyna. C. Jacqueline. Or D. Trish Stratus.
Ooh. I'm gonna say Jacqueline. Right? Because she was a precursor to Chyna, wasn't she?
Precursor.
Like she was before Chyna. Or was she after?
I'm just gonna let you take your time with this.
Dude.
Just say like your final, say one of the answers and say it's your final answer.
All right, Chyna, final answer.
You are correct.
Thank God. I was gonna say if I go with Chyna, second guess myself, go with Chyna, and it's Jacqueline, I'm actually gonna fucking cry. But we're good. No crying today, so that's good.
Yeah, you did good.
What, 5 out of 10? 4 out of 10?
Yeah, it was like 5 out of 10.
Not too bad, not too shabby. Ladies and gentlemen, I did it. I made it. I got a 50%. That's enough to pass.
Yeah, and next week you gotta create 5 questions.
And next week I'm gonna stump Lando, and you guys all get to see it. It's gonna be entertaining as hell.
And I bet that I get all of them right, and you're gonna be so surprised.
Honestly, I don't think I can throw anything at you that won't be something that you know. That's the problem. You've got NJPW you can throw at me. You've got all these random little fucking no-name promotions I've never heard of in my life, and I'm sitting here Roman Reigns is the longest reigning Universal Champion. True or false?
I mean, yeah, but that's just enough for you to learn, though.
Yeah, no, I actually am enjoying it though, because I do get to learn, like you said. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you back here next week. I'm gonna stump Lando in front of everyone. And Lando, you got anything else to say?
But yeah, nothing that I can think of.
All right, people. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will be back at you next week.